Last year's Capcom showcase was really bad, but not quite as bad as the video I made on it. This year's was definitely a little better, although I will say it's probably just because they already announced ahead of time that they weren't going to make any new announcements. But I found that it was overall okay, not terrible, but not necessarily great either. So let's just go through the list of what they showed and my thoughts on it. Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak sure looks like more Monster Hunter. I've never really been the biggest fan of the series. Rise might be something I'm interested in. Probably not. Who knows? Man, that was a bad sentence. We didn't really get any new information on Street Fighter 6, but I will say the Capcom Fighting Collection is kind of cool, even though literally the only fighting game I've ever played in my life that I even somewhat enjoy is Smash Bros. We'll not get into that right now. Capcom Arcade Studio 2 sure exists. I'm not really the biggest fan of Capcom's arcade offerings, or really any company's arcade offerings. Exoprimal sure looks like a dinosaur video game. Kinda interested, but not to the point where I'm hyped for it. Dragon's Dogma sure exists. But then we got to the part of the show that was actually cool. Resident Evil Village DLC looks cool. I think that the wait definitely was worth it. Looks nice. Although third-person Ethan Winters makes me really uncomfortable. I think that's a sin. Resident Evil 4 Remake, it still looks stunning. It is just gorgeous. Though I will say that it's massively disappointing that they really didn't show much outside of what we already saw previously at the State of Play. Honestly, if you didn't have that for the State of Play and just saved it as a cool announcement to end off this show, that would have worked a bit better, but whatever. Then they ended it with Resident Evil 2 Remake, 3 Remake, and 7 getting next-gen ports, which, that's always cool, all the enhancements. But the cool part here, the really cool part, is the Shadow Drop, available today. The pacing was fine, when you had this few announcements in a 35-minute block. I mean, you'd assume that it would mean that you'd spend, a bunch of time on all of them. However, I feel like, Monster Hunter Sunbreak was definitely the one that I felt they showed off a lot of. That was 10 minutes of the thing. And especially when we have Resident Evil 4 Remake where we don't get any new information on it. Overall, it was a decent presentation. I don't really have much else to say on it, and I'm only making this video out of obligation. So thanks for letting me waste your time. Bye.